So you want to? What is this thing we're doing today?
What is it?
Are we doing a podcast today? What the hell?
I don't know.
My brain is still like all
right. Are you
on the
getting any
fritz
noise
with-
from me?
Just your regular voice. But I wouldn't call that noise. La 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 la.
I do that a lot, actually. You never see me.
I'm sure you do. Well, see, I'm not actually looking because I have my notes are over here, and I have Farrago right next to that, and I've got Chrome next to that if I have to go to that. And then over on this screen over here, I've got GarageBand and Discord and OBS, which is recording.
Okay. Right. So the reason I'm asking is there any noise coming from me? Because that means you're not hearing the hard drives, which generally through Skype you do hear, and I have to shut them down.
No,
if you're
I'm
not hearing any background noise, then that means this is doing a better job at not picking them up, which is good.
Yeah, that is good.
Okay.
That makes me happy.
Makes me very happy.
Speak into the let's go!
Oh, you didn't
Why
hear?
can't I hear that?
Speak
I
into
just
the
don't
microphone,
get why
Squid
I can't
Brain.
hear that. Oh dear.
Do you have the source muted in loopback?
Source. How can I tell?
Because I don't know how you have your setup.
I've got all. Hang on a minute. Got it. That's it.
But aren't
Yes,
you going
I've
to
got
pick up
mute
your own
audio
microphone though, too?
sources. Yes, I had got mute audio sources, which was rather stupid, wasn't it?
No, not really. I mean, a
Well,
lot.
it was.
Like for example, I use that when I'm recording because I'm listening to you and Farrago through GarageBand. I have the audio sources in each track turned on in GarageBand, so I don't need to hear it through the program itself.
Right.
And it's actually better if I don't because they're going to be slightly off. And you know how I am about being slightly off.
Well, I haven't put my pick in, have I? Oh yes, I have.
Oh, did I
Yes,
put a
I have.
pick in?
Yeah.
Do I have everything
Right.
here that I need?
Okay. I think we're full. So when are we getting?
Okay.
my-
Well, I'm not going to remember any of that. So it's like, what it'll be on the 24th. I'll be like, Gaz, where are you? Oh, that's
Okay.
right. You told me you weren't going to be there.
You could perhaps get Simon Serenak on. We hate Apple because reasons. Okay. Ready?
Yeah. Are you going to do it or you want me to do it? Oh, see, I have to look over here.
That's why I was doing it. I thought, I know he's not going to see, and he's going to
you're
look.
killing me.
Okay, right.
Keep killing me.
So if you're not looking at the video, why are we having it on? Okay,
It's just so I can
MyMac
use it later.
Podcast. Shut
No,
up,
'cause
will you?
it's like-
MyMac. I've told you. Will you shut up? MyMac Podcast 697. We hate Apple because reasons.
That'll work.
Now I can see you. I see.
I know,
you.
but what I may have to do? I wonder if I
Has it
if I've
has it got a
room.
pop out video which you can move in a small window? Probably not actually.
No, it's OBS. I mean, I love OBS, and then I hate OBS all at the same time.
But I'm talking about Discord.
Oh well,
Yeah.
you see, I'm. It's kind of hard to explain.
Okay, don't.
Well,
Look,
as a streaming platform,
Go-
I really prefer Ecamm Live right now.
right.
But Ecamm Live has hooks into Skype and not any other platform. So I have to use, in order to get your video and my video on the same screen, I got to kind of use
Okay.
this other.
Are you recording the video then?
Yes, I am.
Are you going to put it out
Yes, I will.
to the Patreons?
Well, the first couple will probably be for
Because obviously
everybody.
there's going to what you've got to appreciate, and I think this is where the work on the video is going to give you a real pain in the backside. Is when you do your edit points.
Yeah.
You're then going to have to do your transitions, aren't you? Because we could be like this, and then all of a sudden we're like this.
Yeah,
or
well,
like
I mean,
this,
it's not all that different
like
from edit
that,
points.
see.
Yeah, it's not all that different from edit points. Jog on.
You know, it was bad when we only had audio.
I know. No, it's 10 times worse. The thing is, even with, it's the same thing with audio though, where it'll suddenly be, we're talking about one, especially in the after show stuff, we'll be talking about one thing, and then all of a sudden, with like no rhyme or reason, we're talking about something else.
Yeah, but that's fine because you just edit and carry through.
Well, instead
or
of
you just
going
do
like
a quick
here
mix over. But
to
with
here.
video, you've just then got to do your.
Well, that's easy enough to do. I mean, because
Yeah, it is.
I'm going to edit this. I'll probably edit this in because there is no way in hell that I can
well, if
just
it's
take
easy enough
this
to do.
entire file. I can't take this entire file, upload that to YouTube, and then
you cannot.
and then tell people in the comments, okay, don't look at this video from minute 13:06 to minute
No, I know you can't.
13:14.
I know you can't.
Can't do that. So, yeah, I'll be dropping this. Ooh, what's that? Oh, you got an iPod? Is that an iPod
it's
Touch?
my old one. The problem is, look.
Oh, wow, that's not working.
So I need to get. It's a 64 gig one as well. I think it's. I want to get it. I'm gonna have to get the digitizer working again because it's.
Yeah, because I picked up a.
I love these. I love these. They're great.
I picked up a 6th gen, I think, blue.
Yeah, I think this is a 6th gen.
No, that's too big.
Is it?
Yeah, that's either
sure?
a 4th or a 5th gen. Well, it's so hard to tell because I'm so large.
Hang on a minute. Look at this iPod Touch I've got.
Yeah.
It's almost like this iPad.
Wow, it's the same
In fact,
size.
it's the same size.
No. Well, see, I could take my iPhone. Here's my iPhone,
Yeah.
and it's the same size. Wait, hold on. I got to change hands here. So here's my iPhone, right there.
That's
It's the same size as my Mac Mini.
Yeah.
No.
Try again. Try harder.
No, it was not a smart move on my point. Okay. Ooh, what's that? Emers? Yellow card. You're gonna give me a yellow card now? Bad move. Bad move. Come on, ref! I didn't do anything wrong.
Referee. Anyway. Right.
And
Whenever you're
welcome
ready.
everyone to the MyMac.com podcast. This is number 697, and the reason why I'm saying it like that is because we have a slightly. I don't know if this is going to work or if it's going to be a total disaster. I'm guessing disaster. Would that be a good guess?
No.
guys?
I think it's probably going to be midway.
Between good and disaster.
Yes.
Good. It's going to be a good aster.
Good aster, mate.
Good aster on you, mate. Yeah, that was a really bad Australian accent on my part. Anyway, the reason
You
why
don't have to tell everybody, Guy. They know.
Oh yeah. No, that was really good. Oh, he says it was bad, so therefore, yeah, it's got to be bad. I'm trying this out to see if I can entice people to be interested in contributing to the Patreon thing. It's not going to affect the audio version of the podcast at all, and these first couple ones I will put out just so everyone can see just the excellent quality. Gaz, you're missing it. The excellent quality.
That's good.
Of this video.
I just moved the clothes horse out of shot.
Yeah, and those curtains, I love those curtains.
Yeah, they're my daughter's old curtains. We haven't decorated this room yet, so those are actually my daughter's old curtains.
This is where they make you go when you talk to me. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
No, I understand.
Good.
I understand
Yeah.
completely.
Anyway, what are you telling the listeners?
Oh,
Tell
that
them something.
these first couple ones that we're recording, of course, they will be heavily edited. I will
Can't
put
think
out.
why.
Yeah, and it'll be on Facebook. It'll be on YouTube. There'll be links through Twitter and all the normal places so that you can see it. And if you're interested, let me know. We'll keep doing it. I'll make changes depending on
Yeah, but I thought we were going to do it for our special listeners.
Well, we are. But first, people have
Okay.
to see it so they can decide whether or not they.
What or not?
Yeah, they may sit there and go, the
no.
audio part that I listen to on the way to work. Yeah. Anyway, guess we are
What? Go on.
three shows away from 700. Did you know that? Well, of course you knew
I did. You know that's 2 plus 1.
That. It is. And that's, is that the right finger there with the one? Okay, just checking. But there are some weird coincidences for being just one away from 698.
So I'm just dancing to the one away music, which isn't
That
playing.
I'm not actually playing. I can't find it, and that's probably not a bad
I
thing.
can't find. Okay, so we are one away from 698, and in Europe, Witiza, son of Urgica, becomes the co-ruler of the Visigoth kingdom.
They're back.
In Hispania. Oh, that's better. Yeah, but I bet he didn't have an iPad.
He did not in 698. Well, I think they had the iPad 0.5, which was basically it was a stone tablet, and didn't change
Probably
much.
just had an iPod.
Yeah, iPod Touch, fourth gen.
Yeah.
Over in Britain, 698 is the bus route from West Drayton Station to Ickenham Station. Who knew?
No, who knew? Yeah.
Yeah.
And also,
Yeah, tell me.
Birththread, Anglo-Saxon nobleman is killed leading a Northumbrian army against the Picts. Pick. Monty Python coming to mind there.
Yeah, a little bit. You did this on purpose.
I did this on purpose.
You did
You're
this
right.
and knew that this was the one that was going to come out. Over in Asia. Quapagan, and thank God whoever this person is dead, because they'd be really upset with the way I just said their name. Conquers parts of Transoxiana, and oh my God, I don't know Transoxiana. Is that right? I don't know.
It sounds good to me.
Okay. So what's happening in the Arabian Empire?
Well, not a lot, but over in the United States, do you see what I've done there? Rather than adding us, I've added United States. So
I saw
knew
what
that
you
it
did
was-
farther down, too.
Yeah. Okay, so Ohio State Route 698 is a north-south state route in northwestern Ohio.
I
Its
knew that.
southern terminus. Did you?
I did. I lived in
Wow.
Ohio for a couple
Well,
of
you've
years.
said that too early.
Sorry.
Its southern terminus is OH 103 near Genera, and its northern terminus is in Hancock County, Road 313. Who knew? Come on, who knew? You did.
I knew.
Right.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I traveled for 3 years. The 3 years that I lived full time. 3 years that I lived. Three
Three. I got it.
years that I lived full time in Ohio.
3 away. Right.
I was traveling like 35,000 miles a year just in the state of Ohio. Fascinating. Anyway, over
Well, you want a medal?
Yeah, well, would have been nice. In religion, Princess Taki, this almost sounds like a video game, is sent to Seku as the Sow of the Ice Shrine, and that's ISE. And I bet she didn't eat chips.
I bet she didn't.
She
I bet
would
she
have.
didn't.
She would have eaten
She would have.
chips.
Right. Should we get over to
Our stuff.
our stuff?
Okay. My old Mac Pro still not working. I've given it to my son Peter, and I cannot get that damn thing to work.
Is this the Mac Pro that was working before you
Yes.
dismantled it? Right.
And what I had done when I was going to give it to him, I took out all the drives and put them in an
Yeah.
enclosure that I got up over here,
Kind of makes
and
sense.
figured I was gonna just download Mac OS from the net and and set it up for him. Except when I did that, I couldn't get it to boot all the way, and it's related somehow to that video card, and I can't get the drivers right, so I've basically given up.
So have you got to install which version of OS 10 were you trying to install?
The latest 10, 13.3.
Have you tried installing one of the older versions?
But you can't, not from the net. You can only
Have
download.
you not got any old line sticks or anything?
The only one I had was from 10.11, and I ran into the same problem. I couldn't get it to boot from that all the way.
I'm sure there must be online somewhere some downloads of.
I'm sure. But what I basically did.
So what are you trying to do? What are you going to do about fixing it?
Well, there's a series of Mac shops in the area, and there's one down in the area that he lives called Experamac, something like that. And I had already gone over there to get a FireWire 800 to 800 cable so that we could do migration assistant from his old computer to the new computer. But, of course, we never ended up doing it because we couldn't get his new old computer to work. So they told me that it'd probably cost about $100 to get this to work. And so at first I was like, $100? Don't you know who I am?
$100? I can do this in my sleep.
Yeah, well, apparently I should have been sleeping.
Now, when you go back, they'll say, yeah.
Were you
Didn't
asleep?
we quote you $100 and you've not been able to do it? I think it's going to cost you $250.
Yeah.
And you'll go, $250?
Okay.
Come here, son.
There you go. Here's some money. Take it away. I just want to get the computer out of the house so that I don't have to hear from my wife. Oh, why is that old computer still here? It's like, it's not. It's gone. It's gone. It's so gone. So what have you got going on? Still working out the details, but I did a Mac to the Future live cast last Wednesday, and I've pretty much got that down on how that's going to work. And I can't believe that this is breaking. I did a brief tutorial on how to fix Levelator, which got broken with El Capitan. Unfortunately, and that was all. I basically did it just so that I could try Ecamm Live with doing something like that. Except after I did it and I posted it over in one of the podcast groups on Facebook. So somebody came back and says, "Well, it looked like you were using version 2.1.1. 2.1.2 took care of that problem, and it works fine." And it was like, it's like okay. Let's see. Is anyone still asking why I can't get that Mac Pro to work? Is anyone still asking that? No one's asking that anymore. Okay.
No.
So what have you got going on?
Well, earlier today, I joined Mr. Saranac, Simon, and Mark on the Essential Apple podcast. And actually, I think since we've done our show last, I might have also. Yes, I have. I've also been on another podcast, but we'll come to that in a while. However, the one today, it took us 45 minutes to get set up.
What happened?
Well, we first of all tried to use Wire, but Wire just wasn't working my end. And it wasn't until we finished, because we finally got onto Discord, and getting into Discord seemed to cause us no end of problems. But when we finally got started, because we didn't start straight away, so to say it was 45 minutes, it was probably closer to 40.
It just seemed like it was
it wasn't working.
Okay.
Anyway, at the end, they said, "Well, have you got an update for Wire?" So I went into the App Store, updates, nothing for Wire, nothing at all. So I did a search in the App Store for Wire, and hey presto, it says update. And I thought,
well, why didn't it do it directly through the app?
Why didn't it direct? So I then clicked on update, nothing. Not working. So I'm now completely flummoxed as to what's going on with Wire. So, yeah. The problem is they've been using Wire and it's been working really flawlessly the last little while. But obviously I don't think I've got an App Store version. But there you go. That must be it.
Well,
now,
there is a version of it on the App Store?
Well, yes, there is a wire version on the App Store, so I
must have
must.
downloaded
I
it
can only
correctly.
presume.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll delete it and then reinstall it from the App Store.
Right.
But Wire itself is not telling me there's an update or pointing me towards the App Store. So come on, Wire, pull your finger out.
Yeah, that's.
But we
not
don't
good.
use you, so
Well, you
who
guys
cares?
ended up using Discord then,
Yes, in the end,
which is actually what we're
eventually.
using today.
what we're using now, and we're actually watching each other on video as well.
Yeah, and so far,
Thumbs up. Excuse me. And I've been deleting recently a load of apps. I finally, I don't know why, but I suddenly went into Launchpad, and I was going, why has Launchpad come up? And then I started scrolling through Launchpad, and I tell you what, although Launchpad probably nobody ever uses it. No, nobody ever. You should. You really should, because when you scroll through Launchpad, it's a much better visualization of all your apps. And actually, it's really quite useful to go through there and go, what have I still got? Really? I've still got what? What is that doing? And you click on them, and most of them didn't work anyway. So I thought, right, get out of here.
Well,
get out of here.
Most of the time, the only time that I see Launchpad is when I'm doing updates from the Mac App Store, and all of a sudden I'll see something bounce in the dock, and it's the Launchpad icon dancing in the dock, dancing in the. It almost sounds like it should be a song, dancing in the dock.
No, it doesn't.
It was
Anyway,
Bruce Springsteen.
so I've been deleting a load of apps, all because I mistakenly went into Launchpad. But you do know in Launchpad you can adjust the apps that you want at the front. So
yeah.
It is quite a useful,
Well,
that should be my tip, but it's not going to be. But,
it's not unlike being on the iPad.
Yeah, correct.
It's
and I
single
think that's
click to start
probably
the
where they
program.
were going with it, definitely.
Yeah.
But for everyday Joe users, I think it's quite useful. So there you go.
But it never really caught on, not on the Mac.
No,
Not that I know. I
not
don't know
really.
anybody who uses it.
Well, I do.
Now.
I do. I've got to say, I do occasionally. To be fair to Launchpad, I do occasionally go in there and scroll through, thinking, how much more useful is this to me than just typing the app that I want?
Not so much.
The search bar spotlight. And it actually is quite useful because you can see a lot of the apps that you've got sitting there doing nothing. Nothing, I say. Anyway, let's go over to the MyMac recent articles, I think. I think there probably is a more recent article than the first one we're going to start with, but I like
plenty.
having that in because it kind of bookends the articles. So let's go with it.
Okay. First one is TechFan338. Excitingly boring. What? Are cell phones boring now? Tim and David argue on opposite sides of this subject, as well as Android Wear, YouTube HomePods, and the Intellivision. Go on over, download, listen, enjoy.
The artist, black PU leather and polyester day pack. This is a review by Nom Giborowski.
No.
This is Bert Clanchard, and I approve this message.
Okay, the artist is a premium medium-sized backpack, great for transporting your 13-inch laptop and whatever else you need for a day around town, or as a flight carry-on. It's made of sturdy, leather-like, water-resistant material with bonus features, including adjustable padded straps, top handle, and quality zippers. The pack shape is structured, not floppy. It's easy to load and unload. The style is classy and conservative. And who doesn't like the color black?
Who wrote that again?
John Nemorowski.
This is Nam Segri. I disapprove of this message.
Okay.
Guy, just move on.
Well, I have to fix it because he's coming up again.
Well,
So,
This is non-Gmail.
well,
What's
would you?
the message?
hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right.
Is that using the app called Farrago?
Yes,
I'm
it
saying
is.
nothing. I'm saying nothing.
Well, in this case,
I'm saying nothing, move
it
on.
wasn't Farrago's fault.
Well, no.
It wasn't my fault.
Hang on a minute. Are you
right.
sure?
I screwed up.
No, it was my fault.
Okay.
It really was. Anyway, moving on. I don't even know where we are now. Here we go. Club Nintendo Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Spoiler Cast. Tim.
Greetings, Tim the Enchanter.
Yes, is joined by special guest Benjamin Aquino. Oh, we don't have.
I haven't got one for him. So.
My name is Benjamin Aquino to discuss Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Please do not listen to this episode if you haven't finished the game. The wonderful story will be spoiled. Ugh, spoiled. Go on over, download, listen, and enjoy unless you haven't finished Xenoblade. All right.
What? Are you ready?
Yes.
One more triple driver over-ear headphones review from Mr. Namji Morosky.
This is Namjimo. What's the message?
Okay.
Here's the message. Rave alert! John really likes these new One More Triple Driver over-ear headphones from the exceptional One More USA. The round earpieces are large enough to cover John's medium-sized ears and also small enough so that he can comfortably wear his eyeglasses with the temple pieces just touching the tops of the outside of the ear cups. The overall sound is in the sweet spot between his ears. No, he didn't write that. Between the high and consumer and entry-level audiophile. With affordable price to match, comfortable... It's also... with an affordable price to match. Comfort is also excellent from the leather and padded headband that doesn't crunch the top of his bald cranium to the squishy foam and the leather on the aforementioned earpieces. Go over, read, and see whether you like the One More Triple Driver over-ear headphones. I've got to say, that's not One More Triple Driver over-ear headphones review.
That's the name of the company.
That is, it's One More, the company,
right.
Triple Driver over-ear. Yeah.
Especially if you have a bald cranium.
Yes, bald cranium.
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 Do-do-do-do-do.
No. Cranium. Do-do-do-do. Next up is the Surface Pad for the iPhone 10. This is a review from Sklorin War.
This is Sklorin War. You have failed pronouncing my name wrong for the last time.
We have not failed pronouncing your name wrong for the last time. Maybe just for this week. Oh, no. I see that it is not. That's not even true either. Anyway, Surface Pad for the iPhone 10 is a folio leather case for the iPhone 10. See, this is going to cause me all kinds of problems. It is available in brown, black, or blue leather. His test unit is the brown leather model. The case has 2 credit card slots in the inside front flap. 12 South also carries a Surface Pad for the iPhone 7, 7 Plus, 8, 8 Plus, and all the recent iPad models. Go on over, download. No, don't download it. Read it and decide if you want this case.
Essential Apple Podcast 77. The one I'm on is 78. You could probably skip that. It's about privacy and security. This one's better. This week, Essential Apple slacker at Doogie, Andy J, digital forensics expert, joins them to talk about security, privacy, protecting yourself online, etc., etc., etc. Also, of course, they take a look at the Apple and tech stories of note from the past week or so, including Apple's China iCloud dilemma, painful problems at Apple campus, and more. Go over, download, and take a listen.
I think you can use Preparation H for those painful Apple problems at the Apple campus. Next up, Photo Video Collage Pro. This is a review from Sklorin War.
This is Sklorin War. You have failed pronouncing my name wrong for the last time.
We have not. Photo Video Collage Pro is a photo and video collage Creator. It comes with 70 layer templates and allows you to add photos, video, and music into your collage. It supports up to 4K video, and my voice is changing as I'm doing this accent, and lets you insert photos and videos directly from your photo library. I am not laughing. You can insert music from your iTunes library to play along with the collage. The borders can be different colors, patterns, and thickness. You can also add text to the project. A free version is available. It's free. Free version is available, but it includes a watermark and only 38 layout templates. Go on over and read the review.
3 geeky ladies.
Uh-oh.
Susie or Susie.
Can't find. Oh,
It's not Susie, it's Suze, you nitwit Brit.
Goes glamping, episode 116.
I'm so tired now.
Susie
Oh,
It's not Susie, it's Suze, you nitwit Brit.
and her husband bought a travel trailer and immediately went camping. Or glamping, as far as Susie
It's not Susie.
See, I got
it's
it.
Suze,
I got it
you
now.
nitwit Brit.
is concerned. On this episode, Susie
It's not Susie, it's Suze, you nitwit Brit.
shares some great apps to make your camping or glamping trips more enjoyable, says Susie.
It's not Susie.
You're killing me here.
It's Suze, you nitwit Brit.
next up. Oh, there it is. Next up, Everest Elite 750 NC wireless over-ear noise-canceling headphones. This is a review from Nam Jimborowski.
This is Nam Jimo. What's the message?
John was shocked, Gaz. Shocked, I say. I know. It's like, let's see. Lost my place. The sound from these top-of-the-line JBL headphones when using the supplied custom audio cable was disappointing, to be diplomatic. How about wireless Bluetooth audio from his iPhone or iPad? Much better. Much better. Whew. John took a deep breath and turned on JBL's active noise-canceling ANC feature. Surprise! Very good audio performance. Oh, explosive. Presence. Actually, that was the wrong one for explosive, but I'm going with that. Presence to the music and effective isolation from external noises. Let's go through our checklist to examine... No, we're not going to go through the checklist to examine every feature of these new Everest Elite 750
he does in
NC.
the review, so go over so you can see what the checklist
so
is.
you can see the checklist and go through the checklist.
Let's talk Apple 54, February 2018. Joining Bart this month are Gazmaz, who be he, from the MyMac Podcast, and Simon Parnell from the Essential Apple Podcast. The show, you've got one for Simon, haven't you?
I thought I did. I was just looking for it and I can't find it.
Okay, the show starts with a quick follow-up on Throttlegate before moving on to the 3 main stories of the month. The arrival of the HomePods in people's homes, Apple's move to source their cobalt directly from mines, and the ongoing war on privacy. War, I tell you. The show finishes with a quick rundown of some short related stories that made the news in February.
Oh, I found Simon's. Here it is.
Why, you stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder.
No, that wasn't it.
Yeah, that program's not really working for you, is it? I can see why I haven't moved to it yet.
Actually,
It's your-
I did find
it's
it.
your-
Hold on.
My name is Simon Parnell, but the DC dimwit
Hey.
and the Northampton numbskull can call me Sir.
All right.
Only if you've got cards and a whistle.
That's right. I've already gotten a red card, so I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on here. Next up is Slope. This is a review from, let's see, Lauren Sklor.
This is Sklorin War. You have failed pronouncing my name wrong for the last time.
No, we have not. Well, maybe this week.
Yeah.
Slope is a universal tablet stand. It uses micro suction pads to hold a tablet from 9.4 inches to 10.5 inches. It features a brushed metal finish. Similar to an iMac or MacBook, the tablet sticks to micro suction cups, which are washable and can be replaced for $9.99 if needed. And boy, I'll need them replaced soon.
The problem is you talking like that. I've just noted the second story in the middle section, and I'm really not sure that we can go there. Anyway, Tech Fan number 339, a long time ago on a podcast far, far away. Tim and David can't make it happen this week, so they reach back into the vault of content and pull out a geekiest show ever, number 6. Star Wars. On this episode, Tim, David, Chad Perry, and Mr. Seigel and Neil Monks discussed Star Wars in May 2009. In this conversation, is this conversation still relevant? You decide. I did think some of the decisions that were made and some of the points that were made were completely wrong, but I won't go there. Go over, download, take a listen. And you tell me.
You decide. You right there. You
that's just about to turn us off. Yeah.
Yeah, you with the hat. Oh, wait, that's me.
Yeah.
Gaz, if people wanted to get hold of you, how would they do it? God, this section has just gone on so long.
I know.
We're
I'm
having
glad the
too
next
much
section's
fun.
short. I know the next section's short. Right, so send a tweet to twitter.com/GazMazGAZMAZ. Actually, we were talking about social networks on the Essential Apple Podcast number 78.
Oh, really?
Go over and download that when it comes out and take a listen.
And we'll talk about that
and
next
you can
week.
also send an email to gaz@mymac.com.
And if you would like to get a hold
I
of
drove
me,
through you like a truck then.
you did.
Guy,
You
didn't
did.
I?
You
Yeah.
completely ignored my little dance.
I did.
Just not right. If you would like to get a hold of me, my email address is guy@mymac.com, probably. And you can also find me on the Twitters. My Twitter handle there is MacPennant. Gaz, get us out of here. God, get us out of here.
Everybody, stand by, to stand by, and we'll be right back.
Roll it up.
Roll it up. Roll it. Cut it.
Hold on a second. See,
Too
this
many
is
words.
for people that are watching this. This is what I do at the end of each segment. Is I stop the recording in GarageBand, which you can't see. Eventually, if I keep doing this, I will put in some links so that I can show people what I'm doing on screen, which can very easily be done here in OBS.
Just there.
But I stop it. Oh, is
Just
that a pen or is that like Twizzlers? No, it's a pencil. I like Twizzlers. I like turtles.
I'm going to put it behind my ear.
See, I do that, and it just, because I don't have any hair, it just goes right past.
Well, it's only because I've got these headphones on.
You also have a full head of hair. Though, no, see, I have a full head of hair, too.
It's just all at the back.
Yeah, as far as anyone can tell with this hat on.
You can bleep that.
I don't know, but he's in your place.
Not for long! There he goes. Should I bring us in?
Right.
Or you want to bring us in?
No, you bring us in.
All right.
I'm happy for you to bring us in.
Okay. Am I recording? Yes, I am. Thank God.
Whenever you like.
And welcome, everyone,
Just bring
back
us in.
to the MyMac.com podcast. See, not going to work. I'm rolling. I'm rolling with it. This is the center, very serious section. This is where we're like this for most of the podcast. We have to have our hand up here so that we can like think. This helps me think. What do you think, Gaz?
Did someone just say something to me?
Yeah, I know. It's
okay.
weird.
Right, there was a few stories which appeared this week. The first one is about CCS. Now, I don't know who's CCS, but apparently I think they're some sort of forecasting company, have predicted that Apple Watch and hearables to fuel growth in wearables. See that? So my question, the biggest question that I've got out of this whole article, guys, is a very, very serious question. Is hearables a subset of wearables?
No, it's like it's all part and parcel. You know, it's so many.
Well,
so many
I
websites
think it's a
just get,
taxonomy. For me, it's a taxonomy. A taxonomy. So you talk about wearables and then the hearables, which are under wearables. You don't talk about hearables and then the fact that they're going to create growth in wearables. Like it just doesn't make sense.
Well,
to
I
me.
think we should talk more about underwearables.
Anyway, apparently,
you brought it up.
CCS Insight forecasts 71 million smartwatches will be sold this year, doubling to 140 million in 2022.
Yeah, and the majority of those will be
well
made by Apple.
The odd thing is, it says global sales of the Apple Watch reach 16 million units. So I'd like to know what that period was, whether that was for the whole of 2017. But it does talk about how well Apple are doing, certainly on the smart watch, which we all know, and I think we've talked about this before. But yeah. So
there's the wearable market, and it belongs mostly to Apple, as far as smart devices go.
Yeah, totally. So the next story that I threw in there, and I was a bit concerned about the headline of this, which is Apple to talk depth sensing at an Israeli conference.
I have an opinion on this, and I'm going to tell you what it is as soon as I know what this means.
Well, my concern with this is that this depth sensing has got nothing to do with the healthcare that they're talking about, because I really don't want to go down the colonoscopy route with this. So that's not a wearable that I really want to go out and buy.
It's not bad enough that you've got a camera that they're using for colonostomies, but now it has to be a smart device. Because honestly, I'll tell you right now, there is no way that they'll ever come up with one, because a truly smart device would be like, no, I'm not going anywhere near that. Thank you.
So give me your view on Arrow's deep depth sensing.
Is that what actually what they were talking about?
No, I don't know. It's Apple-backed Israeli Mission Vision conference to feature talk on iPhone X's true depth camera.
Oh, okay. Okay. See, now that's a whole different thing than colonostomies.
Colonoscopy.
Yeah, I think that depth sensing becomes more important as you talk about things like augmented reality, because the camera itself has to be able to tell where you are, where it is, and where you're actually pointing the lens. There's like this dinosaur app, and I can't remember the name of it. It's like Monster something, and it brings a T-Rex onto your screen. And the first thing you do when you're going to use this application, this is of course on the phone, is you point it to where you want the big gateway of where the dinosaur is going to come out is going to be, and you put that there, and then the dinosaur comes out and starts walking around your house or outside or wherever it is. And the only way something dun 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 dun, oh, that's the Darth Vader music. Never mind. The only way something like that works is if it's aware of where it is and where you're actually pointing the camera, how far away that is. That's assuming that that's even what this is about, because it could very well not be. It could be like, oh, yeah, that's a good point, guy, except that has nothing to do with what this is actually about.
I much prefer that it was part of the health part and it's a colonoscopy camera.
Yeah. Well, like I said, a smart camera would have nothing whatsoever to do with it.
Okay, so the next story that come about is apparently Apple's rumored 6.5-inch supersized iPhone 10 Plus is a thing. KGI Securities' Ming Chi Kuo has speculated on such a device, which would dwarf the size of rival phones. Apple rumors abound, but this one seems to have details and or evidence to back it up. The flex cable and the part numbers shown in the photos align with current... Here we go. Guy, does it surprise you that we're talking about, Ming Chi Kuo, KGI Securities, are all talking about rumors? These guys, we've spoken about this before, these guys have control of millions, nay, billions of pounds of people's investment.
Yes.
And they're working off rumors. It just amazes me.
Well,
it really does amaze me.
It's not so much that they're working off rumors. They're not reporting on the news. They're trying to make the news. They're trying to set a standard to where people will say, "Ooh, I need to sell my Apple shares," or "Ooh, I need to buy more Apple shares because of what these clowns say," as compared to what the reality is. And the reality is that they actually don't know diddly squat over what Apple's going to do next.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, they'll make an intelligent guess, and it's usually
and then they'll point at it and say, "Look, we told you."
I got that. And it's like, yeah, well, let's see. That was the part that was like blatantly obvious. I mean, and that's usually the ones that they get right. The stuff is like, well, Apple will have a new phone out in September, and you just kind of sit there and go, well, yeah. No excrement, fictional English detective. That's what they do every year. But the thing is, it's going to be 6.5 inches. And when it's not, they're like, oh, I never said that.
Okay, but let's move on to Warren Buffett, who, again, is big in the tech world. And certainly a lot of people listen to him and make investment recommendations. And he said that he's praised Apple's locked-in ecosystem, but actually confirms that he himself still just uses a flip phone. And I think, I haven't got the quote in front of me, but I heard somebody say, he says that the market is not yet flooded for smartphones. He says until he's got a smartphone, it's definitely not flooded. So they've still got a lot to go out. And I tend to agree with him.
Well, and when people talk about flooded smartphone markets, honestly, what they're mostly talking about is Android devices. Android has 85% of the market worldwide, something like that, which means that, you hit a certain point in not so much market share, but just numbers of people that have devices. And everyone that's going to buy a smartphone, for the most part, has a smartphone. And the only time they're buying new ones is when they're replacing the one that they used to have. Where Apple at 15% of the market is kind of like, there's still 85% of the market that we could have significant growth with. So then also consider the fact that they're the only ones making any real money. Then at some point, a lot of these other companies are just going to drop out because they're not making any significant money at it. And that just leaves more space open for Apple. If it's just
Agreed.
Apple and Samsung, or Apple, Samsung, and what is the name of that? Huang. I can't even pronounce the name of the Chinese company. That Huangyan or whatever it is. The one that keeps saying that we're going to be the next Apple and blah blah blah. But of course we're going to make phones with Android and we're going to make computers with Windows. But we're the next Apple. It's like, okay, I don't think Apple means what you think it means. So anyway, that's my take on it.
Anyway, the next story I've got.
Yeah.
I'm moving on. as you can tell,
Yeah.
is, and I'm going to jump through some of these. Throttlegate, we all know about. I'm not going to go there with Throttlegate. But that cropped up again last week, as usual. Then Celebrite. Do you remember the company Celebrite, the Israeli company Celebrite?
Yeah, they were the ones that supposedly broke into the phone.
We spoke about this on the
Let's Talk Apple.
Let's Talk Apple show, and they've said that they can unlock any iPhone. Well, as Bart quite eloquently put, this is according to what they're actually trying to do, and it's about the passwords, and basically, no, we're not really sure because they haven't proved a thing. Anybody could say that they can break into any phone, but at this point, nobody actually can. They might say they can, and eventually they probably can, given enough time, given the device, and that's the thing. It's whether you've got hands onto the phone. I'm going to hold on to my phone for as long as I can, and most of us will know that if we lose our phone, you're going to go and delete that phone from your usage, so that. Fine, they've got your phone, great, but hopefully you've deleted all of the stuff. You've gone through all of the processes of making sure that
if you can,
any personal data is then deleted from it as soon as it comes into use. Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
And I was a bit surprised, and what I was trying to find when we were on the show was just to try and understand where Celebrite's share price was
prior to them saying that.
Follow the money. That's what I was trying to do. But
the whole thing with all these companies, I mean, basically what they're claiming isn't so much that they can break into the phone. They're claiming that they can break the encryption that surrounds the data on the phone. And
you see, that's not how it came out, though. It can break into any phone is one of the claims they made, and
because they're talking to a general audience. I mean,
yeah.
Well, so are we, but at the same time, we're not claiming that we can break into any phone or really anything.
Well, no, and I'd give it to Celebrite. Anyway, jumping across a couple of the stories. There's one here about Barclays who've got worries over I don't want to dwell on this one. They've got worries over the battery replacement wait times could cannibalize iPhone sales. Well, it could, but let's wait and see how it does. But I get where they're going on that. There've been calls to boycott Apple, Amazon, and FedEx over the NRA ties. I'm not going to dwell on that too much because it's outside my area of jurisdiction, but I'm sure lots of you
outside of everybody's area of jurisdiction
has got a view on that. Apple are opening employee clinics. This is
health clinics.
So I was surprised to hear that this was a bit of a surprise and a bit of a new step for companies in America, because I kind of thought that this is something that would be happening for bigger companies in America anyway, because of obviously the healthcare costs. But I was quite surprised to hear this. So, Guy, I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
Is this new in America, or do companies already give their staff health clinics, or is the difference here the fact that Apple are actually opening up their own healthcare clinics?
Most large companies will have like a health center that's, you get hurt on the job or whatever. It's some place that they can take you for, I don't want to say emergency surgery, just, something to get you stable before the ambulance shows up or whatever. So this looks to be kind of an expansion of what really big companies already do. I mean, you're not going to go into a 7-Eleven and they'll have, a doctor and a nurse and everything else there going, oh, okay, well, you cut yourself on that Mountain Dew. Let's get you in here and give you stitches. So,
and it does look like they're actually trying to promote healthcare and, better healthcare rather than, so basically make sure that you've got a much healthier lifestyle. And I think that's possibly where they're coming from.
Well, healthy employees don't take as much time off.
Absolutely. It's, there's a cost saving, and actually, there's probably a cost saving to the employees as well.
And when you're talking about companies with thousands and thousands of employees in one location,
that's the thing, because you couldn't do this if you've got lots of employees all over the place. It's much more difficult.
It doesn't make any sense, and you may as well just join somebody else's healthcare network.
Yeah. like the countries.
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently, Apple only sold 18% of smartphone sales. They only had 18% of smartphone unit sales. But guess what, Guy? Guess
Tell
what?
me.
They had 87% of smartphone profits.
Oh my goodness. I am stunned by that. Look, I've got goosebumps. That I am so stunned by that. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, this is something that's been going on for a long time, and the crazy thing is, we talk about these analysts all the time. They make a huge deal anytime, and again, they're only guessing for the most part, especially when Apple hasn't released any actual information on what the what's that called? Not profits. Margins, on what the margins are for individual devices that Apple sells.
Yeah.
They're just guessing. They don't know. But they'll make a huge deal out of, Apple's margins. They went from 38% to 37.5%, and act like it's this huge deal. When in the meantime, you ask them, well, what about Samsung and Huangia or whatever that company is? What's their margins on their phones? Well, it's like roughly 2 to 5%. Oh, okay, but that's okay because they're making it up in volume. I see.
Yeah.
So the company with 18% of the market is making nearly 90% of all the profits.
Wowza.
Yeah.
And our last one this week is basically about smartphone security. And smartphone security comparison gives Apple, who knew, top billing, but only 2 Android brands did okay. So an analyst of security updates for different smartphone brands, unsurprisingly, gave Apple top billing with just 1 criticism. When it came to Android brands, however, only 2 managed halfway decent ratings, with many big brands rated poorly.
Yeah, shocker.
So, I mean, this was Security Lab. They tweeted a table which examined 4 different factors, which is the shortest time to publish a security update following discovery of a vulnerability, the maximum delay in making the update available to all, whether or not updates were independent of carriers, and how long a device is supported with security updates. And basically iOS with Apple, it's pretty green all the way across, and it's just, we kind of knew this, and it's one of the reasons we go with them. So yeah, another big tick.
Yep.
We often knock Apple. This last week, we've seen lots of positives about Apple and what they're trying to do. I mean, even we sometimes, and I'll put my hands up. Sometimes I have a go at Apple,
sure.
But
It's got to
be down to personal experience and what's happening at the time. We're not Apple apologists, certainly not. And
we're sorry.
Why should
Apple.
we be?
We're so sorry. Sad face. We're sorry. We said something bad about Apple. Ooh.
Guy,
yeah,
that'll do us for this week. Take us out.
Okay. Everyone, stand by, and we'll be right back.
Robin Deadbreast.
Talk to me, Goose.
When we went over to the States to do we went to see some friends after I went over refereeing in Sacramento. And I was out with the guy that we were staying with, and Anne was out with his partner. And they were in this restaurant, and it was a restaurant that had it must have been themed around a robin. So you're probably going to know what this themed restaurant is.
Was it a hamburger joint called Red Robin?
I don't know. Anyway, they had a big robin going round, and in the UK we're a little bit more subdued when you've got things like that going on in the restaurant, whereas in the States
restaurants are kind of like, excuse me, pardon me, go ahead.
You probably get a lot more of that sort of action going on, and we're not so used to it. Anyway, Anne was, they were in the restaurant, and this robin kept appearing, and our American friend who she was with, she said something about the robin, and Anne said she looked up at her, and she looked over to the robin, and she said, "Yeah, he's going to be robbing dead breast in a minute if he doesn't keep that up." And our friend, the American friendly, spat our coffee all over this poor guy, who was obviously just doing what he'd been told to do, but it was too much for my dear lady wife. And yeah, he's going to be robbing dead breast.
Yeah, really don't. The next time you come over, do not go to Chuck E. Cheese's. Where a kid can be a kid. They actually I don't know if you ever heard of this place.
No, but
it's a kid's place that serves pizza, and they have like video games and jungle gymnastics stuff that you can climb around and stuff on.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I don't know if they still do, but I know that when my kids were little, they went to a couple of parties at these places. They have these like really, really badly made and designed animatronic characters, because the Chuck E. Cheese is a rat. Okay, he's not a cute little mouse. He's a rat. So you've got a rat, you've got a purple hippo, and all of these little weird animatronic creatures that are, and it's basically like somebody who was interested in punk rock and they went to Disney World and started to design animatronic characters, but just not well. And they have these like pre-planned like skits and stuff that they do. And the whole time it's on, you can, every time like the head would like jerk to one side or the other, you could hear the gears and stuff inside, like, and it's like, oh my God, and kids are like enjoying this. And I'd look around and most of the kids are like,
yeah.
What is this? Yeah. So yeah, don't go to and plus their pizza sucks. Right. So don't go to Chuck E. Cheese.
I won't then. I remember that.
Okay. See, this is a public service tip from the G-Men. Don't go to Chuck E. Cheese.
Don't do it.
Especially if you're from the UK.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
So am I bringing us in for this next one? Or are you bringing us in?
I'll bring us in. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, everyone. Well, I'm going to start that again because that was just really, really bad.
Just make sure you keep an eye. Just make sure you keep an eye on my video.
All right. And welcome back to the MyMac.com podcast. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Back to the MyMac.com podcast. I get it now. You're nodding your head. People who see the video will understand this completely.
It's time for Gass's tip.
Okay.
Okay, keyboard shortcuts are great for saving time. But you're not limited.
Oh.
Sorry?
Go ahead. I'll be quiet.
Okay. But you're not limited to just the shortcuts put in by developers. There's a particular menu option you can use all the time that doesn't have a shortcut. You can create it yourself. Go to System Preferences, Keyboard, Application Shortcuts. Click the plus button to add a new shortcut. And you can choose which app you want it to apply to from the drop-down list. But you must know the exact name of the menu command to type into the next box, including the correct case and any special characters, such as ellipses. Lastly, choose a unique key combination to invoke the command and then click Add. And now you've created your own special keyboard shortcut for that one thing that you do on a regular basis. Isn't that right, Guy?
That is great. And if you really
Are
want to
you
screw
nodding
with
your head?
Not yet, I'm not. If you really want to screw with somebody, change all those to quit program. So every time they do their special key combination, program shuts down.
That's not nice.
It's not nice. I would agree with that.
Hit it. That's the end of Gass's tips. That's the end of Gass's tips. That's the end of Gass's tips.
Is that the end of the tip?
Will you let me finish?
Ba-ding! Boy, people are going to watch this and go, yeah, it was better before we knew what they were actually doing. Do you have an app pick this week, Guess?
I do. Now, I have mentioned this app pick in the past. And a lot of apps have actually failed over the past several iterations of iOS 10. So I know that this worked probably in iOS. I think it was back when iOS, look at me, back in Mac OS 10.7, 10.8, so Lion or Mountain Lion. It might even have been working earlier than that. And it's called Time Machine Scheduler. And I've tested it, and it's still working today because obviously some of the updates that I've done, this kind of disappeared into the background. So what you can do is at the moment, Time Machine sets its own interval as to when it does its update, but you can actually set the intervals between 1 and 12 hours. It's a free application, but you can donate if you want. The link for the Time Machine Scheduler is in the show notes.
Right down somewhere there.
Right down there.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
Right down there.
Right that spot.
Time Machine Scheduler, and it's from a company called Climey.com. KLIEME.
Climey?
Climey. Yeah. I think they're a German company.
It sounds German. Jawohl.
Careful.
I know. I'm being good. Especially since
it was. I've got to say, it was last updated back in 2013, so that's why I wasn't sure whether it.
But it still works.
It's still working, but it is still working.
Okay, good. Well, my pick is also one that I have picked before, but not really. I have picked Swift Publisher before, but this time it's Swift Publisher 5. On the Mac App Store. This is the program I use to create the Wooties and any other related podcasting stuff other than to show graphics. I've been using it since version 2, and I really like it, guys. It makes those wonderful Wooties. It's $19.99, and I mean, besides...
Have you mentioned it before?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive.
I think you have. Yeah.
That I have, but not version 5. 5. So 5. Okay, no, I'm not even going there either.
That was 10.
10, yeah.
2.
Yeah, it could be 2. Could be related to 2.
Anyway, go on.
So that's it. It's $19.99.
Okay.
You can find it on the Mac App Store.
Okay, cool. Now, folks, if you've enjoyed the show, because some of you won't have, remember to go over to iTunes and give us some feedback and do a review. And if you do,
you just froze.
iTunes, tell us what
You froze. No.
Froze.
Okay, you're back.
Okay, so make sure you tell us, because using Swift 5 Publisher on the Mac, Guy will send you one of those fabulous Wooties, but you got to tell us, please. Remember. Sorry, Guy.
There's other ways they can get Wooties. But
there
only
are.
for the very first time. If you call our Skype number, which actually I wasn't planning on going there yet, but I will anyway. 703-436-9501. 703-436-9501. Leave a message. Give me your email address afterwards once we've played it on the show, and I will send you a Woo T. That is big W, big O, big O, big T, little I, little E.
Little E.
That spells Woody.
You can also come on the show. There's lots of ways. Just get in contact with us.
Yeah, we'll figure out. There's probably a loophole somewhere. It's like, well, I haven't done anything for the show. It's like, okay.
You can have
here
one.
You go.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, it's not that special.
Just a quick note, we're not going to talk about it too much this week, because we're likely to talk about it quite a lot in the next upcoming weeks. But on July 21st, 22nd this year in Woodstock, Illinois, well, quite close to Woodstock, Illinois, there will be a conference called MacStock. So, MacStock. Do you get it? Woodstock, MacStock. That's the joint. And it's go over to macstockconferenceandexpo.com and find out all the details there. I know that Mike is starting to announce a lot of the speakers, and I know that Guy loves it, and yes, I'd love to go over again, but it's just timing and cash and all the rest of it. So I'm still trying to work it out. But
hopefully we'll be talking about this in much greater detail.
We will
next week, but we won't talk about it now in case something goes horribly, horribly wrong, as is wont to do when it's related to this show. Guess if people wanted to get a hold of you, how would they do so?
They're ever so easy, Guy. It really is easy. What you do is you send an email to Gaz, G-A-Z,
Cars.
at mymac.com, or send a tweet to twitter.com/Gazmaz, G-A-Z,
Cars.
M-A-Z,
Cars.
on the Twitters. You can also send a tweet to both Guy and myself on the Twitters. Guy and Gaz. That's G-U-Y-A-N-D-G-A-Z.
Cars.
Z.
Cars. I got so excited about cars before. It's like, I got nothing left.
Okay. You can also contact us on the emails by sending one to feedback, FWDBACK, at mymac.com. Guy's already mentioned it, so I'll whip it out again. That's our big, hunky Skype number.
Everybody loves that Skype number. No.
+1 703 436 9501. Guy, if people wanted to contact you, how would, if they wanted
an email from Guy?
Because
Guy's the one.
And
you remember Guy?
Do you? Do you remember Guy?
How? Because he hasn't.
I screwed up.
No, you haven't. How
Not
would
today.
they do that?
All they'd have to do is send me an email to guy@mymac.com, probably. You can also reach me on the Twitters. My Twitter handle there, if I could speak, is Mac Pettit. Thank you. I love the Pettit. And I guess, I think, number one, thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
We say this every week, and now you can actually see me say it. Thank you all, no joking around, for downloading and listening to the MyMac.com podcast. It is greatly appreciated by both Gaz and myself, and we love you long time for it. But on that note, the reason why you listen is because, Gaz, I think that we're good enough. Yeah. Smart enough? No, I don't think so. And doggone it, woof woof. People like us.
Jam Sam Provario Program Levelator. ILI. Morum Rissi Dam Sam. Gar Provavio again. Carda Gaznism. Got to be careful saying that. Pomerio, Odd Starog, McAdoo, Mojo, Novi.
You see the explanation of the language?
No explanation. End. You've got to listen to the outtakes if you want an explanation of what I've just said. End.
Okay. Hold on. Where is my cursor? I keep losing my cursor. Damn it!
Shake it a bit.
Hit file. Stop and save. As I say in my posh voice, stop and save. Okay.
So, what language is this?
Oh, it's Bosnian.
Now I get the Richie Cohen dad was named Tom Bosnian.
Right. And I told you what I found out about the little video I did with Levelator.
Yes.
That it turned out that the actual up-to-date version of Levelator works just fine without going through all the BS that I had listed.
Okay, so if you are listening to the outtake, and this goes in the outtake, basically what I said was, in Bosnian, very badly, I fixed the program Levelator, or I should say I fixed it again when I didn't move it from my old Mac to my new one. So, Guy?
I screwed up.
I did. There was absolutely no reason at all to do that video showing how to fix an older version of Levelator that no one is using. No one is using that old version of Levelator. They're using the new version of Levelator that doesn't suck.
No, that's right. Next week, Saturday the 11th, I believe it is.
Right. Now, actually, what I was thinking is, and this is assuming that the people that don't want to talk about it here. The people that we're talking about having on will be coming on like at 2 p.m. because they were saying 3 p.m., which for their time is 2 p.m. here, which is 7 p.m. for you. I was thinking we could do one of two things. We either record the first and the last part of the show separately and then do the interview with those two people, or we do that first and then once we're off with them, we record the first and the last bit.
I think we might have to do the other way around. We might have, because I might have someone coming that evening, so I might have to. They might be fairly slick.
Okay.
So we might have to do the first and second section before, because it'll be a bit earlier, so we can get
All
that
right,
cracked
that's
on,
not a problem.
and then do the interval.
Can you come on any earlier in case we run into delay problems?
I don't currently know what game I've got, so I won't know until later in the week as to what game I've got and where I am.
Okay, now that's Sunday. No, the 10th. What is the 10th? That's Saturday. Okay. If we run into
I said
time
11th,
problems,
but 11th is a Sunday. The 10th. You're talking about the 10th. Sorry, yes.
Yeah, if we run into time problems, we can always do the interview with them, and then Sunday record the rest of it. If
works.
You run into some
if
kind
that's
of
a
time
problem.
crunch.
Yeah. Okay, that works.
Okay. What else we got? Let's see. We've got. Damn it! I keep losing my cursor.
Why, you
Shake it.
stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder.
That's me. Yeah, my volumes seem off on this.
You say Jolly Jape. I say Jolly Jape.
I say Jolly Jape.
Yank tank.
Because, it was weird. I did all of that adjusting.
Sir, if you'll not be needing me, I'll close down for a while.
I did all that adjusting, and then I imported all my old soundboard exports.
And it all went to cock.
And it all went away.
This is Bon Jiggers.
So now,
nice
as I'm...
It sounds okay to me, but obviously it doesn't matter what it sounds like coming through to me. It's what your level is when you're pushing it through your system.
This is Lauren War. You have failed pronouncing my name wrong for the last time.
No. We have not.
Guy and Gaz, the G-Men, are podcasting superheroes. Can't you just picture them in spandex?
I've forgotten about